All right, boom. Welcome to Casa Del Q. I'm just doing these videos because one, boredom, two, transparency. It's a whole bunch of things. But one, waking up here. So this one's just kind of switching up. It's not necessarily technically work hours, not paying attention to comments as much or anything like that during work hours, kind of more receptive to that. But right now we're just trying to get shit together, wake up and do what we gotta do for the rest of the day, or kind of just set them up. But I'm gonna do my thing. Um, oh, also, yes, just to go kind of give a little background explanation, so it's not just like I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I know I'm aware of that. I'm aware, but I remember Joe Rogan saying that, like, yeah, he was just kind of hanging out with some friends and shit and doing like a podcast, and I feel like that would be a better bet instead of like me being all like solo dolo. But I can do that. Like my buddy's even got like TikToks and stuff like that. I've been on his and whatnot. And so he gets like views and like I'm not really sure, like I've never been big on social media, kind of it was always annoying to me when I was younger. Never liked it. Again, I was never good at it, trying to get better at it. This not a good example, but yeah, just trying to work with getting better with links, format, getting more of their equipment and everything like that. It's gonna be a process. Nowhere close right now, but we'll get it. Good in my dog, man. Not worried about it. What does that mean? It means no worries. For how long? The rest of your goddamn days. Fucking good. Wait. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I like one workout posting the story. Say if I'm doing push-ups, do push-ups one day, push-ups the next day, push-ups the next day. That'll be one single highlight reel. Sit-ups, something else. Push-ups and sit-ups, so we can start off with. Do that. What people are doing right, because I see people doing them wrong all the time, get the wrong form. So that looks weird. Like I want to point it out, but at the same time, some people are like, oh, they can't be bothered. So they just have like a channel or whatever, right way of saying it. People can, you know, hey, oh shit. It's uh, it's Special. These do not require Cholula. They already got jalapenos and banana peppers in there. Cholula would simply be redundant. People like spice and Cholula. Talking about it, we'll be about it. Let's go. So you know, I'm well aware that I put my password on there and you can see it, but that's not that's what I use for everything. So password.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's really
Cute.
That's what makes sense.
Right now, I want to take you out to another big story that we continue to cover here with the help of Fox News, the Associated Press, and lawyers. Now, this is a post from Fox News as we have the latest on the conflict between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. military again today striking sites across Iran in retaliation for the IRGC attacks on ships that are traveling the Strait of Hormuz. Bahrain also saying that it intercepted additional missiles and projectiles that were fired in its direction hours ago. We know that just yesterday, Iran had fired at Bahrain as well as Kuwait, Oman, and the UAE. Again, this is a post here from Fox News as they say that U.S. forces launched a new wave of strikes against Iranian military targets after the regime continues threatening commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. And of course, we continue to follow this image right here coming in from marine traffic. It shows kind of the situation playing out there.
With American.
At this point, but
Those are
again, you can
you
see things
take
are huge and there's that battle taking place between
motherfuckers.
the Strait of Hormuz. Who controls it at this point?
Truly free.
Popping this up on your screen here. This CENTCOM posted claim of propaganda. This matters were killed in Kuwait on Sunday schools. That is the truth. There were zero reports of U.S. service member deaths or injuries. All personnel are accounted for. As always, a lot to discuss, and that's kind of an understatement, but I want to bring in Jason Lipinski, Policy Director at United Against Nuclear Iran, to discuss it all. Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, first off, the big question there, as you take a look in the middle of your screen, you can see a live look over the Strait of Hormuz. And I want to ask you, essentially, who controls it at this point? You have Iran claiming invasion, you have the U.S. saying that's not the case. So,
Mine.
it's going to Strait of Hormuz.
Bitch. Sure.
Well, it's great to be with you. This is national waterway. And so Iran does not have the right to to the United States quite broadly. But over the Strait of Hormuz. So that is the reality, just regardless of what Iranian officials and propaganda may say.
And of course, we are continuing to follow all of the latest developments out of the region. I want to pop this up on your screen.
Yeah, maybe all of them.
Essentially, this is now you see the image shows that vessel being once you get there in the strait, a lot of circles indicating those are just vessels that will stop there. They are not moving as a result of the situation that's kind of playing out there. Now, of course, as I mentioned, you are the policy director there at United Against Nuclear Iran. So I want to ask you about the nuclear situation because we're starting to see more of that satellite imagery that appears to be coming out showing where it's with construction, so to speak, there on those nuclear sites in Iran. So what is the situation right now, really with the nuclear sites that are located there and also whether or not the IAEA is going to be allowed in to survey those sites?
Well, I think that the sites in question that you saw, whose satellite imagery was circulated among press reports, are, I believe, Pickaxe Mountain and Parsheen. Pickaxe Mountain, there has been some concerning construction activity going on that site for a long time now, and it predated the Operation Epic Fury. This site had not been targeted militarily by the United States and Israel. So that is a site I am sure that the United States and Israeli intelligence communities are watching very closely. Underneath for the Parshina, or the Parshina, their weapons program, particularly explosives testing, and any kind of construction that is going on those sites will ring bells and the memorandum of understanding that Iran signed with the United States, which had required the Iranian regime to preserve the status quo of its nuclear program. But make no mistake, because of President Trump's Operation Midnight Hammer that he launched last year in coordination with our Israeli allies, Iran is not enriching uranium for the first time in many, many years. And that's a very important achievement for the United States and our allies. And it's just shown that the United States and our allies achieved with military force more than it could ever achieve with diplomacy.
What's listening to fresh air in this office? Horses, scream saver. What if you just
See, I don't really care if you bomb their stuff as much. I do, like, I prefer that you not do that in pretty much diplomatic solutions still, but I'd rather you bomb their facilities and the stuff they create rather than the people they are. Don't bomb the people themselves. Don't kill people. You blow up their shit, you blow up their means of killing you and other people, so you remove the threat, but you don't have to remove the people. You can still work with them. Talk to. Coordinated with. Negotiated with. And if not, then, you know, people die. Talk to the kids. Don't pick on them. People are like, I want it now. I'm in power. I gotta get results now. I don't want results after I'm dead. Oh, we gotta chip away at it, man. Slow gradual progress. We've been doing this all throughout the shitty community. Think the world's gonna be perfect in your lifetime? Nope. Mine? Nope. Your kids probably? Nope. As we pursue perfection, we'll eventually get there, probably generations from now. But people are like, no, I want shit now. And so you do atrocious shit like this because you want results now, which actually ends up exacerbating the issue, creating a lot more consequences in the future. So that's rule number 2, don't be a dumbass.
Relationship with the United States. American registrations of both parties, Democrat, Republican, dating back to the administration of President Jimmy Carter, have tried to account the elusive Iranian modern at the expense of hardline, but they fall bad. And I think that we need to start internalizing those weapons. This is a regime that is not interested in making peace with the United States. The United States has extended an olive branch and has extended hands to the Iranian leaders for many decades, but it's only been to this clenched fist. And I think it's been very revealing. President Trump demonstrated. It was Nichols. So it just shows that they're really we're doing that. The current regime in Iran, and if we want a better reach Iran,
to be the leader at this point, honestly. What should become and seeing since the strike and killed that appears to have injured him as well. He has not been seen. He has not been heard from. There are statements that have been released that have been attributed to him, including one of all the way about social media. But also, if he's really in charge, or if it's more so the RGC is the something cool.
and I think
The same.
raise very significant questions as to his status exactly. The fact that some of them may have not been producing audio message as another real question mark as to his. I'm confident that the U.S. and federal intelligence communities have an idea as to where he is located and his status. But nevertheless, the fact that he's not demonstrating his authority in public is surely very disheartening for the current Islamic Republic, because his father was very present, always holding public meetings and hosting speeches, and Moshe Khamenei has not been able to do that. So he's not been able to assert the authority of his office to the extent that his father had, and that's a very significant weakness for his supreme leadership. So I think that the decision making in the Iranian regime has become more diffuse in the current iteration of the Islamic Republic's leadership because of the absence of a public supreme leader who is clearly visible and clearly in control. And right now you have basically a supreme leader, and Moshe Khamenei is acting like Osama bin Laden and the late Hassan Nasrallah, the former Secretary General of Hezbollah, who had spent later years of his rule of Hezbollah underground. And so he's acting more like the leader of a terrorist organization than the leader of the Hezbollah. And that's going to really pose a challenge for the Iranian regime for months and months ahead. So, this continues to play out. See different developments. I'm going to watch it. I think President Trump has been put communications for the Iranians already. President Trump today stated on Fox and Friends that the U.S. is going to open the Strait of Hormuz, and I think that's the direction that we're moving in. To open the Strait of Hormuz militarily. We see a range of consecutive airstrikes over multiple days now. The U.S. tried to degrade the control of the Iranian travel in the Strait of Hormuz, tried to degrade its military assets. It's going to take a much more extensive military operation to be able to, for the U.S. to be able to overtake control of the Strait of Hormuz. But I think that's the direction where we may be heading. I think ultimately, if the United States wants to get to some kind of diplomatic of the Iranian regime that's acceptable for you to think it's going to have to fundamentally change the status quo right now as it relates to the position and the balance of power between Iran and the United States in the region. And that is going to require the United States to escalate military operations against the Islamic Republic.
Jason and Ron, no, United against nuclear. So much. No.
No, I think that I think the Iranian regime is demonstrating to the world that it's a Iranian community of nations, and it is going to continue to dominate aggression and terrorism and oppression of its own people. And of course, that means that you've got Democrats and Republicans in the United States, allies and partners around the world. There is going to be no happy ending here, no durable diplomatic outcome as long as this regime is in power. And I think we start to internalize that. I think we're going to continue to have some of the same problems.
Jason and Brodsky, thank you so much.
Jason Brodsky.
Thank you for the time. It's working it down. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Amish Shah is leading the troops. Shah has cited Republicans over and over again. Shah was the only Democrat to vote with MAGA Republicans to block access to birth control. Co-sponsored a bill that would give to forced conversion therapy on young and gay Arizonans. It's no wonder Democrats who know him said he can't be trusted. We need someone we can trust. That's not Amish Shah. Well, the Democrat is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Simple and easy. That's what you get at Fit Chevrolet, featuring a relaxing and enjoyable shopping experience. And we're conveniently located in the heart of Scottsdale. With the world and spread of rights. So what could be even get the And apply for financing. Plus, we'll buy your car, even if you don't buy one from us. So together, let's drive to Van Chevrolet for your next vehicle purchase. For over half a century, Spencer's TV and Appliance has been a trusted part of Arizona homes. Helping families create great memories with every appliance. Nearly 1 in 2 households.
What's that his name? Andy, whatever, I don't care. It's not what somebody worth listening to, so I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, I get aggravated when people are so simple-minded, so tunnel vision. Like, this is what, it's what I got. The solutions. Find them. Solutions aren't already on the table for us. We've got to find other solutions because what's happening now, what we're doing now, implementing now, that ain't working. So let's be fucking smart. Educate ourselves to be smarter. Talk, collaborate, gain more information, need more.
We have come today from all the provinces of Iran to express our sorrow.
It's slapping free or big shit. Make people feel free, not feel free. Sudan is unworthy of that title. Subjugation 250. Enslavement 250. Not exactly the point, but to an extent, it's not freedom. Free and freedom are not the right words to describe this country.
Live coverage here at Live Now. The ones in the back look like police in the Toronto area who are speaking on this shooting situation live. Let's watch.
Chaotic scene at times, some concern of an active shooter. That turned out not to be the case. As you can imagine, the information is flowing. Investigators from the scene as well. Nothing but is a very complex investigation into what took place. So the festival essentially has been moved back away from the scene, and investigation in this area will be cordoned off for some time. Investigators go back there. I would ask that any members of the public that saw anything that perhaps had video of what took place, that they might contact 416-808-1300, as we will be very eager to get all the information we can and piece together what took place. As I said earlier, this is very fluid and active matter. Investigators are currently working as we speak here. So I might be able to answer some of your questions as we go forward, but for now, I'll turn the microphone over to manager for some comments. Thank you.
Joined by Councillor Fulton and Councillor Metlin.
When Democrat Jonathan Trimble needed brain surgery, he had to fight his insurance companies to get basic coverage. Now, Jonathan's running for Congress to stop Donald Trump and his assault on our healthcare system. Jonathan Trump for Congress.
I feel awake now. News pissed me the fuck off, so I'm motivated. Adrenaline's pumping now, so I'm up. God damn, news is good for that, I guess. Wake up, watch some news that pisses you the fuck off in the morning, and then you wake up just. But then regulate the emotions, like let's turn that anger into motivation and use it. I'm also being like news that just like pisses you off. Like, oh, I'm up now.
Now, one barrier for many people is knowing how issues that
Heard one more.
lose that barrier. You answer a short questionnaire about your goals. BetterHelp reviews your responses and matches you with the that fits what you're looking for. You can meet over video, phone, or live chat. Many clients report meaningful symptom improvement within 12 weeks.
If you want to walk into 2026 with less mental weight and more clarity, therapy, better health.
Angry about this.
All right, you know what?
Irresponsible acts of violence. And right in the middle of a festival attended by families, children, seniors, and just so I want to for the two people that have passed away, their loved ones, I want to send condolence. The pain that must be going through, thoughts and prayers with the families. I urge people that have footage or have some information to call the police, let them know their information. And I want to say thank you to the first responder, the Toronto Police, the fire department, the emergency services. They responded immediately, quickly, and saw them in action, and we are deeply grateful for the service. If there are questions and the details, I'll leave it for the police to answer. But certainly, in such a crowded festival, to that kind of reckless violence is just very disturbed and just totally angry.
I'm gonna say
So it's very difficult to say with certainty what precipitated this. I can tell you that there was an exchange of gunfire between individuals and the two firearms were recovered. But as I said, investigators are here together, eager, you know, and it's right with you. That's something great people that's raised. So it's the brazen, despicable level. This exchange here, the danger to the members of the public, of the mayor commented, it's just so unacceptable. If we will piece together some of those information, some of those bits of information, and when we're able to share it with the public, we certainly will. I can say it's complex because the sheer.
I gotta do one last little thing, finish cooking up the broth, and then we gotta start working. I do know it's a little bit later in the day. I've been having a lot of trouble getting sleep. Well, at least like the last couple of nights, it's kind of a weird situation. Basically, buddy went off trying to fight everybody. It was like the DD, but not driving because it's kind of drive. So I was like the designated drunk person. And God, that was annoying. I'm doing that right. Don't need to go into that. I'm going out later. I just don't feel like thinking about it, talking about it right now. That was annoying. I dealt with it well, so I'm proud of that. I can recap that later. Talk about that. Incidentally, it's really involved me in this.
Essentially, shooting. It's probably one of the worst types of fault. This seemed to be an exchange between individuals targeting each other. Obviously, indiscriminately putting vast numbers of people in great danger. But an active shooter is something that you put up if you weren't sure in the initial few moments of what it was. It turned out not to be an active shooter in classic state sensitivity. We do not know exactly how many shots were fired. I'm afraid, it's to the east of us, it's along St. Clair. I believe there's 3 scenes, so we might have had some movement and shooting that was happening in concert. So,
Chief, did you plead 3 instances that happened? Are there other suspects believed to be outstanding, or is there 2 individuals that exchanged gunfire who are now deceased?
Well, I can tell you with some certainty, but I cannot. It's still far too early investigation to tell you who was involved, what their roles were, and who might be outstanding. That information will come and becomes available
show the numbers for you so understanding clearly. 2 deceased, 4 others were shot. And taken. Is that correct?
That's correct, that's my understanding. I'm not able to comment on that at this.
Talk about the chaotic scene here that first responders encountered. I mean, I'm certainly, it's been a process since the day, unfortunately, that I haven't seen a response like this by officers and first responders to get here to try to figure out what's going on, to find people who were shot and attend to them, and to, you know, help other people who may have been fearing their lives and trying to run away from this. That
I mean, it's chaotic, it is challenging. We are very blessed in the city to have first responders who will run to the danger, who will run to the gunfire while other people are scrambling away. They will confront whatever the danger is and do it as best as they can according to their training. So 13,000 people, large, you know, you can just imagine the chaos, the panic, the fear. And you've got people that are injured and you don't really know what is going on in the initial few moments. So police officers and first responders, paramedics, fire professionals, they simply have to get there and start figuring it out and start dealing with it. And that's exactly what they did. I'm quite proud of their work. And now the investigators have quite a burdensome task as well to put it all together and bring the people responsible to justice.
there's no other, you know, threat to people who live here in this area. There's no one, a shooter hiding in a backyard or a shed, for example.
I mean, at this time, if there was something like that to be concerned about, we would be letting the public know. We do not believe at this time that there's some sort of active threat to people that live around this area.
So let's cool off.
Toronto is one of the safest cities in the world. I'm sure the mayor would agree with me, the councillors of the city would agree. But we are 3 million people, and unfortunately, we're not completely immune to some of the things that happen globally. But Toronto is an extremely safe city, and we're very happy with the first responders that we have, police, the fire, and the paramedics that handle this and that plan this and that deal that we happen. So while this traffic is very concerning, we have very talented and trained people to go all the way.
And Deputy Mayor Mike Cole and Councillor Battle, we just want to say how disgusting this is. This gangster violence in a peaceful family festival. We had it for 15 years, no problem. And the shoot up of festival indiscriminately, these thugs must be caught, no bail, put them away for 20 years. This threatens all of our people. This has got to stop. Squad is investigating this. They can be reached.
He's in
808-1300.
And understandably so, but yeah, no. The repercussions he's mentioning is, I guess, through the heated argument. Reasonably later. Your desperation, anger, revenge, is all needed in our genetics.
We were just listening live to that press conference with and also the mayor speaking. Shooting at a street festival there in Toronto. This is what we know, the latest information, as was just described by the police. 2 people are dead, 4 others were shot, and 1 additional person taken to the hospital. They say this seems to have started with an exchange of gunfire between 2 people who seem to be targeting each other. So they previously reported this was an active shooter situation. Now they seem to think that was not the case, that this was some type of altercation between 2 people. 2 firearms were recovered. No arrests at this time. They say they have 3 steps that have been investigating. They don't have any information to share on how many suspects they are keeping at this time. They did say there were about 14,000 people attending this Latin Street Festival there in Toronto today when this gunfire broke out. Again, 2 people are dead, 4 others shot, and 1 other person taken to the hospital in Toronto. We will continue to bring you those updates as we get them. Thanks for watching live now from I'll be taking over here for Austin Westfall the next 3 hours. A lot of news to get to on this Saturday. Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll be right back.
Well, our first little bit for the day. Again, body moving. What's the word? Getting things rolling. Whatever. All right, I thought my brain was functioning. Thought I was ready. Ramping things up, getting them up to speed. All right, here we go. I gotta get started, so gotta do the thing. Time to work.